So Voodoo, what is Voodoo about? Voodoo is an Afrofuturistic space opera where you play as either Baz or Amani, two bounty hunters who are vowed to catch the biggest bounty in the galaxy. As you can see, Voodoo incorporates a lot of comic book aesthetic and African folklore. It's a blend between inspirations from Borderlands, Star Wars, and basically just taking African stories to a galaxy far away.
The in-between is, as it's called, the Metroidvania of our choices. You play as a young boy who has basically had his entire world taken away from him. The in-between actually aims to add something fresh to the formula that we all familiar with in the Metroidvania space. By blending something new from a genre that nobody really knows much, such as the bullet hell genre from Undertale, and blends with Metroid, while keeping the aesthetic and the vibe of what the indie games and also the virtual masterpieces that we know, such as Zelda, Metroid Fusion, and likes.
It's currently a PvE combat game on mobile. It's out on Android and iOS. The first iteration of the PC version will be played tomorrow at Lagos Games Week. So the differentiator here is that they are fighting like Nigerians. You see a bus conductor that will break bottle on the floor. Yeah. You see a bus conductor that will throw sand in your eye. There's a suya seller with his lebe is too nice. So it's very, very localized.
Monsters and Threats is a narrative-driven third-person RPG game that is set in a post-apocalyptic world. So the players play as Nico, and then they try to revive an already dying ecosystem to save the planet. We're building our game on three main pillars, which is agency, representation, and adaptive gameplay. So through adaptive AI engine, the game literally watches how you play and reshapes the gameplay around you. So no two players have the exact same experience.
So I'd like to say Grown Up is the first immersive maze adventure ever. So ultimately it's a maze game. You explore different mazes trying to navigate your way to the exit. It's also pretty narrative driven, where along the way, the main character has a goal, but I'll talk about it a bit more. It's going to launch on PC and consoles. The story mode has a single player version, where again, you explore the mazes, you complete side quests, you find Easter eggs, all of that. But also we have a limited online co-op mode, where if you play Journey or Super Mario Wonder, you kind of can see other players that are also exploring different mazes and have limited interactions with them, maybe trading items, or just emoting. Nothing major, just a way to feel like you're exploring with people.
Before I announced the winners, I felt like it's important for you to hear from the judges about what was most important to them in their consideration. And then I will speak to my own consideration, and then we can then make the announcement for the person who's winning.
So first of all, congratulations to each one of you. It was really nice, really good pitches, well done. I know it's not easy. And yeah, I just want to say that I'm amazed by the creativity and the talent that each one of you have. Well done for that. So what mattered was creativity, I would say. As a consumer, if I can picture myself playing, if I like the environment, the design, these kind of things, and also of course where you are in your timeline and how you would use the money. So I think all of that mattered for me.
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much. First time in Nigeria, and I really liked the creativity you have, amazing concepts, and everything you have done so far. So. You said exactly what I had in mind, and we to try to based on everything you shared, also questions about the money and about the advice and all of these things we took it into account in order to choose the project. So you will know very soon.
Yeah, well done everyone, great presentations. I think in the voting for me was who one I was most confident could see it through, see the project through, and then the impact the win would make on them as well. But I just need to say, yeah, everyone did a great job, and to be honest, there were several people that could have won.
Yeah, I think I'm the last one, so I will try not to repeat what everybody said, but good job again, everybody. Really nice to see the good stuff and the good stories that come out of you. I loved some of the pitches, I was intrigued by others, and they all left like a good impression. There was games at different stages and different scale, which made this decision not very easy. So we had to pick something. On my end, what was most important to me, as I said, what I think the market potential is of a specific game. Also, as I said, the stage of development in which the game is, and my assessment of how feasible the end would be, and the scope would be, and also how much impact the money would be to that studio in getting them through a stage into the next one and to elevate them. So it's, we try also to, be very responsible with the data and give them prizes. So if you don't win, it's not a reflection of the quality of your game. Please keep that in mind. It's mainly just an assessment on quality versus what actually impacts with the money that we have on the
Oh, well said. So, making a game is hard work. And it takes, blood, sweat, and tears. It takes a long time. And the most, I guess the tough truth is that a game is never done. So, again, this is not a reflection on any of the teams. I think it was very, very, high quality. I think, let's give a round of applause to everybody. This is great for the Nigerian game ecosystem. Actually, this is really, really good because the quality of the trailers, the quality of the pitching, the quality of the gameplay is really, I think is symptomatic of where we're going. So that makes me quite hopeful about the future. Obviously, everyone can't win, but for those who don't win, I think the good news is we are all in the same ecosystem. So please, reach out, connect. This was never about the money, right? So let's be very clear about that. So I'm still open to kind of supporting and advising. So that's no problem. But then, ultimately what we wanted to do was to identify a project and a team. For me personally, I think, shipping is extremely important. And kind of looking at the time to data, which is, for me, how long it takes for you to actually start getting player data, getting feedback. Is that 6 months, is that 12 months, is that, 48 months? What skills capacity do you need to be able to get there? Is it the current team? Do you need to double the team size? And then, what is the true market reach? I think the guy from Voodoo, who did the first presentation, talked about Reloaded. And the feedback that market received. I think, our market is not developed yet for games across Nigeria and across Africa. And that's partly because each region of the world that has a developed games industry has games connected to them. So you can say this game came out of this region, in the same way that you can say this music is from this region, this film is from this region, and we don't have one yet. So for me, it matters a lot that, the winner can be that North Star, that success, that everybody else can say, hey, this game is from here. I know Broforce is what everyone talks about today. But let's not speak about that. But yeah, so that's the thinking. I want to say that the decision was hard, and it was so hard that it was divided. So we ended up with 2 winners, number one.
So one of them gets advice and the other one gets cash.
Well, actually, everybody but one said that they wanted advice. So we would top it up by splitting the cash between the two teams anyway, and still giving the two of them advice. You know, like this is just a tiny little drop in the ocean. I'm hoping that we can do way more before this year is over. You know, when people think about the challenges that we have in the ecosystem, cash is a big challenge. You know, like let's not, right? So any way that we can inject cash into the people who are working, no matter how little, is essential. But our winners, without further ado,
You guys actually did a drum roll. That is sick.
the in-between.
Woo!
And the winner, go north. You can bring it in, it's fine.
And I bully you for the money too. Woo!
For the two of you, just keep working hard. You know, like this is the next generation of creators. No, it's I'm hoping that by this time next year, you know, like this, they'll have dollars. We'll change that sign over there, and it will not be gift, right? It will be the amount. In fact, it will be installs. Say you say $15 per, so your own will be installs. $15 per pop, right? Yeah, by this time next year, because that's the story I want to tell. All right,
So this is Tade. He's clearly very eccentric, very crazy guy, and he proved it today. Wow. Bosa man himself.
And then turn down.